Hey guys, it's Saturday morning about 9:30, I think, 9:46. I'm sitting right in front of the gym. I'm gonna go get in my my workout, my lifting workout. I actually have kind of a fun, what I thought was happening last weekend is this hike with my Active 2030 club. It's not actually a hike because it's on a paved trail. It's on the Johnny Cash Trail near Folsom Lake, near Folsom Prison, actually, hence Johnny Cash. And it's paved though, so it's this somewhat new portion of the trail in Folsom that they recently built and added on to the existing really great trail system. And so that's going to be fun. We're going to meet in historic Folsom. After my workout, I'm going to go back over to my co-working space and get a few hours of work done while I'm there. And then I'll be able to just meet everybody right there. And then when we come back, we're going to do some sort of, food and happy hour kind of thing. So, there's some really great places there to eat and get some good drinks. So that's kind of the plan for today. I just started listening to, I can never remember the names of the Nicci French books. So I'm on the 6th book, the Saturday one. So it starts on a Monday and then it goes through Sunday, but I think there's an 8th book actually, and I have no idea what that one's called. But it's the Free Decline series. So this is book 6 in the Free Decline series. I just started this last night when I was at the gym working out. So this is part of the March Mystery Madness, and this is my first mystery that I'm picking up in March so far. I'm also, so far this morning, I read about 50 pages maybe or so of Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred D. Taylor. I have to say, I'm really into it now. I'm like finally really invested. And this is a book that I got from my niece, Holly, who's 11, and she started it and just kind of couldn't get into it. And we're having a hard time getting her to read anything but Harry Potter right now. She just keeps rereading it. And I can see why, when she's been having a hard time picking up anything else. It's kind of a slow start. It's a very just real life, country people, this black family in Mississippi. They have a farm, they own, I believe it's 400 acres of land, and their land ownership is a really big part of the story. It becomes a very big part of the story. And of course, black and white, relations, and Jim Crow, and Cassie, our main character, who's a 9-year-old girl, learned some hard lessons and in those dynamics, and what it means to be black and not to be white. So yeah, it was definitely kind of a slow start. I can see this being a really good book to teach from, but I also think it would be hard if you were just a 9-10-year-old picking this up to read for pleasure. I think it would be a little bit harder to kind of be a self-paced book for a kid that wasn't part of a curriculum to be reading it through. Because I mean, even for me, it was a little bit slow going, even though it's a middle grade book and very like easy to read. It wasn't that like page turner where I was super, super interested at first. And so I think it's actually kind of slowed my reading down at the beginning of the month. But anyway, I'm super into it now and hope to be able to finish it tomorrow. Just thinking realistically about the rest of my day today. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go get this workout in so I can get on with the rest of my day. So I'm gonna go pop in my earbuds and listen to Nicci French. Dark Saturday, that's what it's called. Sunday morning, I just finished Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. It was really, really good. Definitely a slow start, but once it got rolling, it really did. I think this would be a really good book to teach from, because I think there's some language in here and circumstances too that I think would need to be discussed and explained more to kids. Sorry, my dishwasher's going. If you can hear weird water things happening, it's the dishwasher. But it really, really was enjoyable. It was a really slow start. And then, so I think there's a bit of a pacing issue because it just crept along so slowly at the beginning. And then it was just like a race toward the end. And, this is, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but there's a whole series of these books. And this is not the first one. But it definitely had me interested toward the end of like, I want to know more about the Logan family. So, if you want particularly a book, for middle grade age kids that you want to be able to teach through, I think it's a really, really good example. I asked my cousin about it yesterday, who is a teacher. I think she's teaching 3rd grade mostly right now. Sorry, I have some bedhead, which was hat hair yesterday, so that's fun. Anyway, so she said she hadn't read it for in school or like for class as a teacher, but when she was growing up, it was on either her own personal library shelf or like that her mom bought for her, or it was in the school library and she never picked it up, but she recognized it. She knows of it. But actually a book that we were talking about. So she's in my Active 2030 club. So we did this 7-mile walk on the Johnny Cash trail together yesterday. And she asked me if I'd ever read The Phantom Tollbooth. And I was so excited that she brought it up because, so I read it in 5th grade, for school. I didn't remember anything about it. And then maybe 5 years ago or so, for some reason I had picked it up and I ended up reading it in an airport before a flight. And this is when I was either in like grad school for speech or I was working as a speech therapist at the time. And all I could think about was like all of the great like teaching opportunities, language opportunities, that you could use this book from. And so she got all excited about it. She just read, I think she was able to read like a sample chapter on Amazon. So she read the first chapter and was super into it, and like her mind was going too. And so she's like, yeah, the great thing about it too is because the book was written in the 60s. So there's going to be all sorts of like existing lesson plans and projects and stuff like that are already created. So she won't have to do quite as much work on the prep side of things. But anyway, that's just an aside because I was talking about my cousin. So Sunday morning, I don't really have plans for today. I'll probably do some sort of meal prep kind of thing later in the day. Of course, I'm always in the middle of a game of fetch, it seems, if I'm home. And yeah, laundry, like some kind of preparing for the week, some typical kind of Sunday things. But I really want to read a lot today because I feel like I've hardly been able to read. So I'm going to pick back up with A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. I'm not very far into this. I'm on page 32. So very much not very far into this. This is my Booktube Spin book. And so this is the one book this month that I'm reading that, book of fiction at least, that has nothing to do with March Mystery Madness or Middle Grade March. I'm not 100% following the political situation here. It's from what I'm getting. This is like just after the Bolshevik Revolution, and our main character, who I can't remember his name at the moment, he's a count. He is essentially prosecuted and made to basically be jailed by at this hotel for the rest of his life, unless he wants to go to prison, because he was born with money, because he's part of the aristocracy. So there's some references to the Bolsheviks, and I think there was even a mention of the Tsar, or the one of the daughters of the czar or something like that. So it's definitely an area of history that I'm really interested in. And probably what got me the most interested in it was the first Ken Follett book. Not the first Ken Follett book. The first book in the Century trilogy by Ken Follett, because we follow basically a couple of young Bolsheviks who, one of whom becomes really, really heavily involved in the Bolshevik Revolution. And I know this is a very like slow character-based book, so I'm hoping that I can just kind of like settle into this today and make a good bit of progress, and then I'll probably pick up, I'm not sure, another mystery or one of the mysteries on my TBR, or one of the middle grade books. I'm thinking about the Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place, because it just seems like it's going to be like fun and fast and light, as opposed to, you know, even though this was middle grade, it was also very heavy and not exactly like fun and fast. Still very heavy, even though it's a middle grade novel. So anyway, that's what's up for right now. I am just happy to be cozy on the couch under a blanket with my coffee, on and off with my dog snuggling with me. Cheers.
It's good too.
Me too.
This really, it looks like a really nummy cake.
Mm-hmm.
Peppa, look, more picture. How about you just take a sample?
So pretty.
Let's see that. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow.
Oh, good.
And Papa,
Oh,
Look
good
how
job.
well she holds.
and Papa made that.
Did Papa make? Yes, he did make that.
So I just had this whole crazy setup with my tripod here, like balancing whole situation to do like an over the shoulder downward view, like the bullet journal people, to show you how I do my weekly setup for with my bullet journal. And I accidentally was recording before, like as I was getting it set up, and not actually while I was doing it. So instead, I'm just going to show you what my weekly setup looks like. You won't have a fun like sped forward with music montage of me actually doing it, and just show you what I do for my very minimalist bullet journal setup. So this one here is a Moleskine A4, I believe. Prefer Laustrom 1917, but this is what they had at Barnes & Noble, and I had a gift card. So I do like a weekly spread. Monday for me is the first day of the week, so I'll just write the dates, March 18th to 14th, and then I kind of square off, then I just kind of section off the page. I have the kids on Wednesdays, so I tend to not do a lot on Wednesdays, and then Saturday and Sunday, not a lot typically is planned. So it's like, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday are the days I'm going to be seeing clients, doing much more work-related things on those days. So those things need more space. And then I use a triangle, kind of the bullet journal method. A triangle is an appointment. Certain or a dot is a a task. I use other things as well. Here we go, an event, hike, and workout with Elise. So that's an open circle. And then over on this page, this will be like weekly tasks. So things that need to get done at some point during the week, but they haven't been assigned to a certain day yet. And then just content ideas as they come to me. And that's content for my business, Reformed Health Coach, whether that's in my Facebook group, Reformed Health Community, Instagram, my Reformed Health Coach, YouTube, whatever. And often a lot of that, oh, what? And often a lot of that stuff is kind of not recycled, but just used in different ways. And then just to see what I do like on a day, like Saturday, I did a little bit of work in between my workout and my my walk with my club. So this was just like some study stuff I did. So typically I'll just kind of have the same kind of top of the page, and then this was basically just me taking notes. Same kind of thing on these days, just me kind of taking notes about things. Sometimes if it's a really busy day, I'll have a little bit more of a specific agenda going down, where I'll actually just do like the hours of the day and kind of put the blocks of time in, and then any other like notes that I need to take will get written down wherever. And that's something I do basically every Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. It's a way to get kind of the stuff that's in my brain out on paper, and it helps me start the week off not being super stressed, knowing what I have to do when and where and all that kind of stuff. Also, just like if you know, healthy habits, whether it's weight loss, improving your health, improving your fitness, any of that, planning things out ahead of time, knowing, okay, what's the protein that you're going to be eating? What are the general foods that you have? Do you need to pull something out of the freezer? Do you need to pick something up at the store before the week or on the way home from work on Monday or whatever? And then knowing, okay, I want to get fitter. I want to lose weight. I want to be healthier. Like, so what does that mean? And what are the action steps you're going to take to do that? So when you look at your week ahead, okay, this is what my week looks like. I'm going to lift on these days. I'm going to go for a walk on my lunch, whatever. Put it down on paper, part of the agenda. And it makes it much more it makes it much more doable because you've planned it out and you've made action steps out of it. So anyhow, I need to fold some laundry, so I'm probably going to find something to watch on TV while we do that. And then I just really want to read for the rest of the night, get back into Gentlemen in Moscow. I was really enjoying it this morning. I hadn't really like I wasn't like into the story when I first started reading this morning, but then almost immediately, or what I had read prior to this morning, I hadn't really sunk my teeth into it yet. It was just kind of the setup for it. And then very quickly I was into it. And I think what's going to happen in this story is that we're going to experience a bunch of relationships that he has with various people within the hotel. And the first one is with a 9-year-old girl named Nina. And they kind of developed this friendship. And she wants to know, because she wants to know first if he knew any princesses. And he has known lots of princesses, and so she wants to know what kinds of things what are the rules of being a princess. And so he kind of starts teaching her about manners and posture and all these kinds of things. And so getting to know him through his relationship with this 9-year-old girl at the moment. I have a feeling that that's kind of going to be the structure of how the story goes on. I'm digging it. So I gotta get my chores done, so I'm feeling good about Sunday night starting the week, and then I can finish the evening off with my book. Can you hear the frogs? It's just after 7 o'clock on Monday night. I am wiped. I spent like about 12 hours at the office today, changing lives. So I'm just gonna get some dinner, edit this real quick. Sorry if it's not stellar editing this time. Cuddle with this here doggy. Can you look? Can you say hi? Stevie, over here. He doesn't want to look at you, sorry. And then maybe continue on with A Gentleman in Moscow, and maybe just settle in with a nice new middle grade, The Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place. I read like the first 6 pages maybe last night before my eyelids just got too heavy. So with that, thank you for watching. See you around the tubes.